My favorite thing about my body is my butt. I don't know, I've worked out my whole life and I always feel like that's where all of my strength comes from, especially in skiing. It's just like, I don't know, my biggest strength in my sport. Hey, this is Lindsey Vonn and this is my Women's Health Body Scan with my beautiful co-host, Lucy. My body has always been so pivotal and important in my career. Then, after I won the Olympics in 2010, I really started doing more photo shoots and more red carpet stuff, and I looked around and realized that I didn't look like everybody else. Everyone else is like a size 0 on those red carpets, and I'm like a size 10. So I started to get, really self-conscious with the way I looked, and I lost a bit of weight, and I ended up, kind of sacrificing some of my skiing that season because I went through that kind of self-conscious phase, and I really regretted it. And looking forward, I always thought, okay, I have to prioritize my skiing and not the way I look. But it's always kind of been an issue for me, with everything on social media. I feel like there's such a want to be perfect, and none of us are, I'm an athlete, I use my body for my sport, but I am nowhere near perfect. I have stretch marks, I have cellulite, I'm a normal person, and we should all just be more accepting of each other and not strive for this impossible version of perfect that no one is. I've definitely broken a lot of bones, but I think the worst was my arm. I had a spiral fracture, so my bone actually split into 3 pieces and it twisted, and then my nerve popped out, and so the bones were actually hitting the nerve, and it was just a bad situation. I was training in Colorado, and there wasn't enough snow to get us to the bottom, so I had to take a pickup truck on a dirt road with my nerve getting jammed the whole way down, and my physical therapist had to keep slapping my face to keep me from fainting because it was such intense pain. By the time we got to the hospital, it had been almost 2 hours. It had actually lost blood flow and it had discolored, so I think I was in surgery for a few hours. And it was I played in 18 screws, so the screws take kind of a long time to put in. Obviously it has to be done very meticulously, otherwise, I may never be able to ski again. I woke up with no feeling in my hand. I struggled with that for a few months. I couldn't hold anything, I couldn't pick anything up, I couldn't write my name, I couldn't brush my hair. I'm right-handed, so I was trying to do eyeliner with my left hand. It was hilarious. It was like kind of crooked and didn't really work. But I got through it and it works just fine now. My right knee, I've had about 6 surgeries. I had 2 ACLs, I had MCL, tibial plateau fractures, and they took a huge chunk of cartilage out of my knee. So that's really, at this point, my biggest problem is that I'm bone on bone, and it's constantly swollen. It almost always hurts. I have a hard time walking the dogs for 10 minutes, but I've really found a good balance. I work out about 3 to 4 times a week. I've been training with Gunnar Peterson in LA, which has been really nice, and I'm kind of learning to work out in a different way. I'm really mentally tapped out of the 3 to 5 hours, 5 days a week. That's just obviously too much. And now I just do what's fun. But being strong is just as important to me now as it was before because of all my injuries. I have to maintain what I have, otherwise I'm gonna fall apart. I have a little shark. I have believe in Greek. That's the origin of the Olympics. And I have Still I Rise on my ribs for my grandfather. My grandfather passed away November 2017, and it was right before the Olympics in Korea. And he had actually served in the Korean War, and we were really hoping that he would make it to the games. That was kind of the reason why he was hanging on so long. But when he died, I just kind of wanted a reminder to myself to keep going, just no matter what happens, still continue forward. And obviously that's a quote from Maya Angelou, Still I Rise, but for me it means a little bit something different, and I just always want to live my life in a way that would make him proud and continue always to rise above any adversity that I have. Lucy saw a squirrel, so she's out of here. So this Believe tattoo I got before the Olympics as well, in Pyeongchang, and that was really to remind myself to believe in myself, and kind of reminded me of my childhood dream of being an Olympic champion. And then the shark, it represents always moving forward. You know, sharks can't actually swim backwards, they'll die. So that's always my motto, like keep moving forward and go after what you want, just like a shark does. I actually love my hair, and a lot of people think that it's not real, but it's 100% real, and I'm just not naturally blonde, as you can tell, or this blonde. You know, I started dyeing my hair when I was 16, I think, right before the year before the Olympics in Salt Lake, which is my first Olympic Games. I don't know why, it was kind of like a popular thing to do. I also had a perm when I was like 9 and 10. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I also cut my own bangs. They were like up to here. Really bad idea. But you know, I always liked the way I look with blonde hair, and I'm also really fair skinned. I'm really pale, especially in the winter, and it just kind of, I don't know, makes me somehow, I feel like, look a little bit less pale. Maybe that's not true, but that's just kind of my personal thing. I'm pretty happy with my feet. You know, a lot of ski racers, they lose their toenails, and you know, we get frostbite, and you know, you can get you know, like a 6 toe, you can get a lot of different weird things can happen in a ski boot, similar to like being a ballerina or figure skating. But I'm lucky. I feel like I had a lot of luck with, you know, the fact that my feet always held up. And you know, my only issue usually with high heels is that my knees hurt. Honestly, like my feet are always good. Knock on wood, I have never actually rolled my ankle. It's mostly just, you know, by the end of the night, my knees are killing me. But you know, as long as the outfit looks good, you know, it's really worth it. So I'm actually putting together my own skincare line now because I've had such a hard time kind of finding things that work for me. I have kind of a mix of like oily and dry skin. And when I skied, I always had to wear sunscreen. So I always usually broke out because I'm in the cold, it's dry, and I'm wearing thick, heavy sunscreen. So currently trying to solve that problem, which I'm happy to say I think we're on a very good path. But I also always wear makeup when I ski, so that's one thing that can also make you break out. You know, I always felt like in ski racing we were always covered up. You know, you never really got to show your face, and you never really got any chances to like be expressive. We're all wearing the same like uniform, and you know, you got goggles and helmet, and I figured, you know, for me, the one thing I could do to express myself was wear makeup, and then kind of I got into a routine of, on race day, it was always like my game face. You know, I always put on a little bit extra, and I thought that gave me like a little extra edge. And that's definitely probably all psychological, but it made me feel like I was, you know, ready for the task at hand. I actually got made fun of a lot for wearing makeup, but I always felt that was my way of being more feminine and expressing myself and, you know, doing something different. And there's no one that can say that you're, you know, not feminine because you're strong, or not feminine because you're successful, or not feminine because you speak your mind. You know, those are all amazing characteristics and traits, and you should embrace them. And so I think the world has changed a bit, and I definitely think everyone's much more accepting of that notion that strength and femininity can go hand in hand. But I will always keep trying to push the envelope on that for sure. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to Women's Health and follow me on Instagram at Lindsey Vonn. Stay tuned for the Amazon show, The Pack, which airs on November 20th on Amazon Prime Video. Thanks, guys.